You're listening to Polished Woman, only on LA Talk Radio.
Good afternoon, Polished Women! We are live for our Thanksgiving episode. Woohoo! Say woohoo, Max. I know, and I have a very special guest. I know I've mentioned that I will never have a guy guest on the show, but today we have an exception because it's Thanksgiving Day, and I really want to share, because everyone's like, where's your husband? Do you really have a husband? Because you talk about him all the time. So while I have my husband and he's here, hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
His name is David Bunevacz. So, for me, love isn't that butterfly feeling that you get in your stomach when you first start dating someone. It isn't about being Facebook or Instagram official, or it isn't conditional. For me, love is deeper than that. It's a selfless act that's done without any expectations of what you may get in return. If you have genuine love in you, inside you, it transforms you. You're able to be grateful about anything. You're able to forgive people who've hurt you faster. You're humbled by it, but you're also uplifted by it. So I'm so focused on love today because I get to share this show with my family. Today I am joined by my loving husband, David Bunevacz, and my 3 amazing children, which will be later. So if I were you, the first 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to have a 45-minute show today. The first 20 minutes, I don't want the kids to listen to this conversation because it's about marriage. And I hope you couples out there will learn something and will be able to be inspired by this conversation with my hubby. Okay, babe. How do our marriage has changed from when we first got married?
Our marriage,
everything emotionally, sexually,
oh
physically.
So many questions within a question. I'm already tired.
He's such a diva. I know, he's such a diva. So, how did it change?
It's matured. It's matured a lot. You know, we're 18 years in already, which I can't believe that we've already reached 18 years. It's gone by so quickly.
Yeah.
You know, every 5 years, 6, 7 years, there's a different step in a marriage. And I really think that we've gone through those different steps and have really conquered them as we've, or hurdled them, as you could say, an analogy that I would use, being a track guy. But we've become completely different people, I think, from when we started.
Yeah.
There wasn't, I hate to say it, but in the very beginning, I really didn't. The level of respect that you thought that you had is nothing compared to the respect that I have now in being older and being with you for so many years.
Yeah.
You really develop that respect, and I think that it's something that's learned as you go through life with your partner, and I think that's really one of the top priorities, is keeping that respect up.
Yeah, and I think knowing that the guys need respect so much, and the women they need love, they need affection. I think those are the 2 most important things that you should have in your marriage. So what are some of the ways you think I show you love and vice versa? I think people have to, I think they need to know this.
Well,
because how did we, for 18 years, it's hard, especially, marriage is tough. It's not easy, and every day it's like constant, work for each other. So
I think that for me as a man, I think for the other married couples that we know and the men that I'm very close with, the one thing that we really look for in a marriage is the work ethic. Most of the friends that we have kids. Most of the wives that they have work and take care of the kids at the same time.
Yeah.
As the breadwinner in the home, when you go out and you bust your ass to work so hard to keep up a certain lifestyle and to make everybody happy, to make your wife happy, to make your kids happy, it's a day in and day out grind, and when we see our wives also carrying on that load to really help the family in any way that they can, it doesn't mean that they have to go out and make money, but to really take care of the home, to take care of the kids, to make sure all those responsibilities are there when either we get home or it's really important, because it's not just a take partnership. There has to be reciprocation on both parties to help out, and when men see their wives doing that, there is so much more respect for that, rather than coming home and seeing your wife just not home and getting her nails done or going shopping every other day. That doesn't bode well in the long term. There has to be a true partnership. It's been said a million trillion times, but there is that partnership, and as much as we can both help each other, I think that when men really when they see their wives trying so hard, whether it be doing a talk show or taking care of the kids in the best way that they possibly can, that respect really means a lot to us as men. It really does. It really truly does.
You can do things for yourself, because as I've always advised all these women, babe, that every woman, they want to do something for themselves, something that will just lift them up, or just something for themselves, like a care and just loving themselves. And for me, you husbands, if you're listening, allow your wives to do something for themselves. It may not be something like a job, or it has to be something that she really loves, that will make her happy. Because when she comes home, she'll, when the woman is happy, she'll make everyone happy. She'll make the husband happy, she'll make the kids happy, and you'll have a more harmonious family relationship, right?
There's a very tight balance there. There's a balance between keeping your family happy. That's a 24-hour-a-day job. Keeping your husband happy, but most of all, if you're not happy, it's going to be very hard to continue keeping up, all those things that are being demanded by your family and by your husband. And it's extremely important. I've seen some women just drive themselves into the ground and not take a break, and they end up imploding on the inside, and they'll have to go to seek serious therapy or whatever, because they're so depressed, and because they don't take care of themselves,
or they drink,
or they just start drinking
alcohol.
or doing drugs or whatever it may be. But I really think that there is a mandatory time out for the wives and our partners to be able to take for themselves, whether it's to go on a retreat by themselves, take off with their friends, go to the spa once a week or once every other week, whatever it may be, to reset, because that lane that they're living in on a day-to-day basis is very fast. And if they don't get out of that lane, they will implode. And it's really, really important to have that. And your partner becomes much more happier when they go away, or they get to do something for themselves. But everybody has to reset. Guys go out to a football game or basketball game, or go and play golf. Everybody needs it. Sometimes the women
I was just going to ask you that.
Sometimes the women play the martyrs, and they say they can just keep going and going because they're much stronger than men. They can just keep going and going and going, and they think they can. But there is a certain time when it becomes too much, and women just have to be really aware of that.
Yeah. Do you believe? I want to ask you, and I wanted to come from you, because we always talk about it coming from a woman's perspective. Do you believe in a midlife crisis? Because these are always the excuse, right, Max, of men. I'm going through a midlife crisis. That's why I'm cheating. That's why I had an affair. Why do you think most men have an affair?
For me, it's common sense. Most men have an affair because they're insecure.
That's so
they're
true.
they're insecure. They're insecure with themselves. They have to prove that they're men again, and somehow they think if they bag another girl or a younger girl or whatever, and have a mistress on the side, they think that they're proving to themselves somehow that they're still a manly man. But it's quite the opposite. I've known many men that have gone down that route, and I won't associate myself with them because that's a true flaw, and it exposes much more to that when they do that in business or whatever else. It's insecurity. It truly is. They might say that, oh, my wife isn't giving me this or giving me, or taking care of me, sexually or pampering me, or she's not feeding me correctly or whatever. Those things can be communicated very simply over time, and if you communicate properly with your partner, then those things can be taken care of.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an insecure thing when men cheat. 100%.
Yeah, so you don't think that it's about the sex part, because a lot of them, they said they don't get enough sex from their wives. And, I've spoken to a lot of women that this is their problem. As soon as, like, after the third year of being married, they go into complacency. And then, of course, you have kids, so you get tired. You don't really, give much attention to the sex part of it. And I feel like this is really important. Aside from the communication, even with us, we've been married for 18 years. It's not, it's not like perfect. It's not, right, babe? It's not like we have like great.
It's not? I thought it was.
But for me, it's perfect.
I didn't know. That's the first time I've heard of it. I'm devastated. I think I'm gonna.
But you
I
can't
think I need
say
to go
we're
to the spa.
perfect, babe.
I think I go to the spa because I'm gonna get
mad.
depressed.
They're gonna get mad if I say I have a good,
Jesus.
loving, generous husband that takes. I'm so
taking back
spoiled.
the
I
Christmas
swear.
present I got you. No more Birkin
No,
bags for you. That's it.
No, but I can't say it's perfect, babe. But
It's not perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it's
only
not.
99%.
And I believe it or not, there are times that we're in bed, we just watch TV and we don't talk.
That is actually. Let me tell you something. I think a lot of guys can.
Right?
Concur,
I know. They all say
can
that.
concur with me.
Yeah.
One of the best. One of the times I look forward to the most in the day is that time where I get into bed around whatever it is, 8 or 9 o'clock, and there's about an hour or an hour and a half gap where my wife has to shower, she has to do this, she has to pray, she has to meditate, tons of stuff. There's that time that I look forward to because it's like the resting time for the both of us, not just for me, but for the both of us. Mm-hmm. And when we get in bed together, that is like the twilight for me, that time at night. And that's really it's I know a lot of guys that are my friends have that same feeling, and it's pretty it's funny. It's not like going on vacation because you're active and you're moving around.
Yeah.
No, it's that night. That's the most peaceful time and the most content time I can say in our relationship is that time at night when I know exactly where she is, I know exactly what she's doing, because it's the same thing every single night, and it takes about an hour and a half, and I know, and we're just there, we're just there doing,
You have
what
that
we do.
space for an hour.
Yeah,
and
we
a
both
half.
have the
Yeah.
space, but it's not really that, because you're away from me, I'm happy. It's just, I don't know, it just makes me happy because I know exactly what you're doing, and it's just a content time of the day for me.
Yeah. And for sex, though, it's not all the time that you're like in the mood or he's in the mood. I think it's for us, we, how we give each other, like we give and take. Like if this is my time that I want to do it, he'll be so giving. And even if he's tired and if I am tired and he wants to do it, I would, of course I would do it as well. But there are times that I say no because I'm really exhausted, but I make it, I make it exciting for him because, I'm going to do this to you the next day, right?
Yeah, she bargains sometimes. She tries to bargain and negotiate. That
Bargaining.
But when
bargaining
she
with
negotiates,
sex.
I always throw in some caveats there that have to be put into the negotiation, and if they are, then I'm okay with it. But look, at our age, we're almost 50 years old.
I know,
for goodness
Max,
sake.
we're turning 50.
Almost 50 years old. Look, there are so many things you can do to feel like a 25-year-old again, and it really helps and has helped a lot of our friends in their relationships, and it's a great thing to have out there to help and aid in those things, because you know, you start winding down from 5-10 times a week, you go down to 3 and then 2, and then you're kind of like, okay, this is okay, but then we have friends that have taken the pellets and this and that.
Yeah,
and,
the pellets
and
is like
the testosterone,
so good.
Whatever,
Yeah.
anti-aging magic, and now they're cranking away again. So it's great. It's
But
good
how
for
many?
them.
Okay, I want the wives to know how many times a week does a man have to have, sex with their husband?
It depends. I mean, if things are crazy in business and everything, I think two times a week minimum, I think is the right amount. Well, for me, some guys I know that have to go, they need it every night, or some are like some are once a month. Some are, it just depends. But
Yeah.
for me, at least twice a week has to, I think that's the right balance right now. And I'm not on any of those pellets. I can't have any
I
of
don't
those
think
pellets.
he needs those pellets.
you know-
I needed it though. On the other hand.
Yes, you did.
But
need
it was good, right, babe?
No, it's great.
It's
I mean,
great.
It's
and
fantastic.
I think it's really like you also have to communicate, right? You cannot be, how do you say that? If you've been married for a long time, sometimes you get embarrassed. What is that word? You get embarrassed a little bit. You get a little bit,
you still carry some inhibitions towards things.
Inhibitions.
But
yeah.
look, it all comes down to communication. And you don't have to be drunk or high or whatever for those inhibitions to be lowered. When you're married when you have a partner, you should be able to communicate those things and be able to tell those things going both ways on any day. Whether it's a Monday or a Friday night or a Saturday night, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be weekend, right?
It doesn't have to be a weekend.
Yeah. But before I call the kids, babe, what advice, can you give one piece of advice to new couples? Like, what advice can you give the new couples that are watching right now?
Brand new couples, look, it all comes down to respect.
With all the social media as well.
It all comes down to respect and communication. If you are still in the age of playing games with your partner and trying to make them artificially want you, or by making them cry, or by making up all kinds of stuff and playing games, you're not ready for marriage. Marriage, you'll feel when you're ready, and you'll know. But it comes down to communication and respect. It really does. If you don't like something that your partner is doing, then you have to communicate with them, and you have to communicate with them in a loving way. You don't just communicate with them and say, hey, you're an asshole because you did this. No, there is a proper way to communicate and to get a result. If you don't want to get a result, then you can communicate it in the negative way, and it's never going to happen. And you can keep building on that until it's snowballed into a giant problem, and you have no one to blame but yourself. So being able to communicate in the correct way, without angering anyone, is really a smart thing to do, and you could learn those techniques. Also, respect. You have to respect your partner.
You
She's
mentioned,
your wife forever.
I know. You mentioned to one of our friend, what is the secret of your marriage? And he answered, there's a lot of sorry. What do you call that? Remember you answered that one time, one friend of ours asked, what is your secret to a good marriage? Oh, there's a lot of sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot. In the very beginning, I would never say, it was very difficult for me to say I was sorry for anything, to my parents, to anybody. I learned to say I was sorry.
And now he knows
because
when he's wrong.
that once you say you're sorry to your partner, it breaks all the walls. But when you keep on pushing and you do not let it go to the next day, your fights, you keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, and it will just turn into a bigger fight. If you say you're sorry, this one, my wife, as soon as you say you're sorry, she could be yelling and screaming and throwing things at everybody. As soon as you say you're sorry, she just melts. And it's that was one of the major keys in our relationship, because she was a psycho before.
Oh no, but
She was
because
really
now,
a psycho.
because now he says sorry and he knows, when I'm mad, I don't throw dishes anymore.
Yeah, thank
I'm
God.
really nice now.
Thank
I
God.
want to call my kids. Yay! Thanks, babe. That was
Sure,
a
honey,
good
no
one.
problem.
Brianna, Grant, Haika. So Haika
You're listening
Haika
to
is my
Polished
eldest. She's
Woman, only
30.
on LA
Grant
Talk
is
Radio.
24. And Brianna is 15. So I have 30s, 20s, and teenager. How is that possible? I don't know how I did it, but I did it anyways. Okay, these are Thanksgiving episodes. I want you all guys to answer what I'm going to ask you. Do you think that I clearly taught you about what I think love is? Who can answer that?
Oh, okay, wait, hold on. When you asked me, you're always like, do you know what love is? And I was like, I don't know. And you're like, well, obviously you're too young to know what love is. So that's my answer.
Okay.
Well, you'll find out. Like, love is selfless. Well, who knows?
Does anyone really know what love is? Is the question.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. It's giving without love is giving everything you have without, expecting anything in return.
Okay.
When you
Alright,
love someone, you love someone endlessly, and you love someone, what do you call that? Completely, without selflessly, without asking anything. So, what about our family? I want each, because it's a Thanksgiving. What about our family that you are grateful for? Who wants to answer first?
Youngest one.
Youngest first.
What about in our family that? I'm
Yeah.
Or anything.
Or
that you're
anything
grateful
that
for.
you're grateful
Anything that you're
for.
grateful
Okay. Well,
About our
this will
family,
be
about
a
whatever.
long time. Well, I'm grateful for how my mother and father have raised me, because I don't think I would be where I am today without you guys, and I'm grateful for all your support and love. And I'm grateful for my siblings
Ah.
to kind of lead me through my teenage years and kind of tell me what to do and what not to do and make smart decisions and all that. And yeah, I'm just grateful for a really good family that trusts each other and loves each other endlessly.
That's
Oh, very
nice.
sweet. Endless is the word.
Endlessly.
How about you, Grant? That's good. Actually, she's very lucky because she has two siblings that went
they've
through the
been
teenage,
through that.
been through that,
Yeah.
and that advises her.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Grant.
I have to say I'm grateful, obviously, for my parents as well, for all that they've done for us. It's not often that you have such special parents like what we have here. They're not the most ordinary parents, but that's in the best way possible. Right? But who likes regular people, right? They're
Yeah.
boring. That doesn't make anyone special.
yeah.
Doesn't make anything
Yeah.
out of anyone. So, I'm grateful for them for being the way they are.
Yeah.
And I am also grateful for my older sister who, thank goodness, went through everything before I did as well. So I don't know what, I have no idea. I have no idea what she's gonna say because she didn't have anyone to, tell her what to do. So thank you for clearing the path. You passed the wisdom and told me exactly what not to do, especially where not to go. It's very helpful for a middle child. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that.
Are you not like a little bit affected because you're a middle child?
I'm
Like how
affected in
people
every way.
say-
I'm the only guy in this family, and then the
Yeah.
sibling, relationship. So
Yeah.
it's what you expect living with two sisters. I have to fight somebody here.
Oh, he did one time to Brianna. He did that, right?
Me too.
Yeah. Okay, how about
I could too.
how
No,
about
you haven't
Haika?
learned anything.
You're just starting.
How about you,
Oh,
Haika?
I'm grateful for the family. Because
Continue.
that's it.
Cheers.
No, what do you say? No, yeah, Grant's right. We don't have like the, like the ordinary, normal family, but I guess that's what makes it exciting. And you learn a lot from everybody in this group because we have such, our age gap isn't normal also. So I learned from my sister and I learned from my younger brother, and
Because your generation was different
all
from
different
the
from their generation,
Yeah.
and-
Actually, every generation
It's all
was
different.
Yeah.
different, right? When you
Yeah.
were guys growing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also grateful for my parents because they did everything that they could at at what they're given, and just doing the best for your family. And I think the best gift that you can give them, and just love.
Mm-hmm.
And also, yeah, I love you guys.
Ah. What is your since it's in a few months or weeks it's going to be 2019. What is I want you guys to tell me what are your visions. I want you guys to tell Dad and I what are your vision for 2019.
Youngest first.
Like,
Thompson?
what we
Like,
want
what
to
is
achieve.
Yeah.
achieve?
Your
What do you want to
vision for
achieve? Your new vision, if you have a new vision or you have any
Okay.
career or
Well,
whatever that you want to achieve in 2019. You
I
always
mean-
have to have that
Yeah.
every year,
I
right?
have a goal every year.
Yeah, a goal.
I think in 2019, since I'm gonna be 16,
Yoo-hoo!
Thank you. I think I would have a lot more opportunities to do things in modeling, especially because they're very specific about their ages, and
Mhm.
if you're too young, you can't do this and all that.
Yeah.
So I think my age will also help me with that. And I think I go to a regular high school now, so I think I'm gonna know what to do a little bit better. Like, I haven't adjusted to that yet because I've never
Yeah.
been to a real school before.
Yeah.
So I think I will be smarter about my choices. Well, I'm smart about my choices.
Well,
now.
I hope so.
Smarter about my choices.
She's always been
I hope
smart
so.
about her choices.
And I kind of have learned from this year to just kind of just love and just to be thankful. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
always thankful, but like this year especially has just been really great and a good learning experience for everything.
Okay, that's good.
turn.
How about you,
Mm.
Grant? Are you gonna
Are
finish
we- are we-
school
are we-
soon?
Are we allowed to
About
talk
time.
about new ventures?
You can talk
or-
about whatever you want.
Oh,
Well, I don't know if we could say. I'm gonna do a little marketing here.
yeah,
We have
of
a-
course.
January, as many of you might know, there's a plastic straw ban. And, we're looking to capitalize on that market. So
Yeah,
here,
plastic straws.
plastic
Yeah.
straws are gonna be
Plastic
banned.
straws are
Yeah.
banned.
And
Yeah.
you know,
When you're gonna graduate?
yeah, I'm gonna graduate. So 2019 is gonna be. I want it to be my year.
You mean
Yeah.
19.
Yeah, 19.
Okay.
19 is gonna be my year. Not only will I try to finish school, I will start a couple new ventures. I will be pursuing this these bamboo straws, and I'm also in line for my real estate license. So I want next year to be absolutely aggressive. Next year is gonna be just brutal.
And I
you
love
know?
that because when you're young, you should he's getting his real estate license. He's trying another venture with the straws.
Haika.
And all different kinds of businesses. I think it's very, very important for younger entrepreneurs these days to try many different, at least a couple businesses and to see how they like it. It's like when you're in school, you like math, you don't like math, you like reading, you figure out what you like, and then you go down that path. It's tough when you're pigeonholed to just one job sector. And if you don't like it, boy, you're going to be
So
stuck
true.
and you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. So I would really implore,
like that.
implore, young entrepreneurs to really try a few businesses before they, finally settle down and go down one path.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta try everything before you say.
I
you
always
settle.
tell you guys that have like 2 or 3 things that you're doing and then choose from there whichever
Exactly.
the best thing that you like, right?
Yeah.
How about you, Haika?
Vision for 2019, just grow.
Millions.
Yeah,
grow?
make millions.
To grow.
Grow our business and make it long term. That's really the goal.
Yeah.
And besides,
Long term, that's
just
so
long
true.
term.
Yeah.
That's what we wanna.
Right, babe?
That's what we wanna do.
Or just sell it in the year.
See, he's
Make-
always
make-
about
make-
selling
make-
it in a year. He's always about he wants to build something okay, and sell it. Like he's always about that, but she's all about long term.
Yeah.
I think long term is good.
Yeah, but also gonna
Yeah.
work with my
Depends.
brother on this new business that we have, and hopefully, we start that business and let it grow and see where it takes us. And I'm excited, and also climb the nose, El Cap next year, hopefully. But yeah, lots of travel, because travel's important. Because you know you get to experience new culture, get to meet new people, and I think that's important. And I think that's like what I'm grateful for our family, because you know, we traveled so much and we've experienced you know, different life from different
cultures.
countries, and you know, experienced them. And I think that opened our mind as well, and not be close-minded to just, I don't know, what's in front of us. And it's nice to have that openness, and it helps you grow as an individual and helps build your character.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
If we have someone here that is a 30-year-old or in her 30s, what advice can you give them about their life?
Oh,
You know, in their future.
You know, don't settle. Explore. You're still very. I feel like I'm still young. Well, because of these two, I feel like I'm young. but yeah, I think 30 is. I'm excited because I think that's when you just fully
Have grown,
experience
yeah.
your life, and
Yeah.
you're still experiencing it. And you know, 20s is, there's a lot of failures, there's a lot of mistakes, but you know, you learn from that and you apply whatever you learn in your 30s, and hopefully that will lead you to whatever fate you have, and you know, in your life. And just keep on living and just be happy and do what you want to do and
Take
do
some
what
risks.
you love.
Yeah.
And
Take some risks.
Take some risks, and yeah, don't settle for normality. It's boring.
Normality.
I think that,
Boring.
yeah, my husband did that. How about you, Grant? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of 30s out there.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny because, like I said, I'm in a different generation, and I actually feel like I'm old because you know, the age I feel has shifted now, where
You feel like you're
success
old when
is
you're
like
20s.
no, success is getting younger and younger nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I'm 24 and I feel like I'm late. You know what I mean?
I felt that too, but then like, you know.
Even more so now with all the social media kids going on, like 15, 16-year-olds making millions of dollars. It's like,
I know.
what in the world?
She has
Come
friends.
on. You know, it's like, I feel late now. So, but I mean,
You're
like
just
I
a
said,
late bloomer.
right, you're right.
know.
We could say that. We could say that. You know.
You're trying to figure it out.
Yes. So
And
not
that's
everyone,
what's-
unfortunately, is blessed with, you know, those beautiful white jeans, and then you know, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly the Instagram model, and I can't, you know,
It's okay.
capitalize on
That's-
those kinds of that industry. But you know, that gives hope for a lot of other 20-year-olds. Like there's a lot more avenues out there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the only thing that I feel like everyone's just trying to get down that avenue, and it's like, man, that's not.
You gotta get out of that box. And
I understand, you know, yeah, exactly. There's a lot more out there for people. I encourage that people would be more, you know, inclined to their education and getting real careers and real jobs, because I feel
Yeah.
like nowadays we're really missing that. And that's fine with me, because if everyone's trying to be, you know, a social media superstar, you know, there's not. I feel
Yeah.
like this breed of people who can run things and
Yeah.
make things happen, they're starting to get smaller. So, I'm excited about that. I think. So, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's good.
still figuring out that I wouldn't say dying art, but you know, it's
But 20s is
Starting to-
about figuring out the
Yeah.
things that you really want to do, right? That's like 20s.
That's 20s.
Yeah.
20s. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're in that age where you're trying to figure things out. You have no idea what you want. That's,
It's okay. I've been there.
you know.
I've never-
I understand
How about
that.
you, Brianna? What can you advise kids who are, you know,
Teenagers.
teenagers?
Okay.
You're
Well,
15, so you're going through that a little bit,
We're going through that
not
phase.
adulthood, a little bit, yeah.
No. Well, we're still teenagers, so
Yeah.
we're still learning a lot, and we still have to learn a lot. And, you know, we have to go through tough times where your parents will definitely come in handy helping
Mhm.
you through that and kind of guiding you through that. And you are going to get hurt. You're going to get heartbroken. Like, you're going to get stressed out with school, with all the exams, and you're going to think that, oh my God, like, I'm never going to get better. But you just have to keep believing and keep trusting in your parents that they will guide you through that. And
Mhm.
don't forget to have fun, but also listen to your parents at the same time.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Make sure you listen to your
Listen to your
parents at the
Start
listen
with
to
my
your
time.
parents.
answers over here.
Okay. I have one question.
What says Happy Thanksgiving on Facebook Live.
Oh, we have Happy Thanksgiving, Auntie Marie. Hello. Okay. If things like money and time didn't matter, what's the one thing that you'd want to give someone special in your life? If money
And time?
Yeah, because it's
Time.
Thanksgiving.
Time.
Money and time.
Yeah.
Time.
I think time is what you give
Time.
your
Mhm.
your loved ones if you don't have the money to give them material things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have
True.
time.
Give
Okay, but the
time.
question is
Okay.
no time.
No time.
Yeah.
then.
So
No,
then
no
we'll-
time.
That's the challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
Something like walking in the park.
That's time.
That's time.
That's time.
That's
Why did I ever ask
I
this?
think I think
What?
only I can think of is like just passing down and in passing down yourself. That means
Mhm.
passing down things that you know, things that
Yeah.
you can do
Mm-hmm.
to other
Like,
people.
teach them.
Teach them whatever anything that you know
yeah.
that is unique to you. That
That's
you
right.
think you can offer someone.
What do you give?
Huh?
You know.
What do you give?
I give love to everyone.
You know what I'm gonna give? I'm gonna
Love.
give
Love.
handwritten
Love,
letters.
love.
One.
Because nobody writes anymore.
I know. Why is that?
I hate that.
Why
You know,
is
that's what I'm
that?
gonna
I
give.
love letters.
Well.
So fun.
My husband and I, every Valentine's Day, I said we always have to write a poem for each other. Like a
Yes.
write, like
Poem.
letter, like
Yeah.
literally letter, because
Yeah.
that's so important. Don't just email or text. That's so true. Write a letter. It's nice to keep those letters. When we had that fire, I I was like keeping all the important stuff, the letters and pictures. By the way, can I just say that is one thing that I'm grateful for this year. But the Woolsey, is it Woolsey? The Woolsey fire did not affect our home. So I'm really
Yeah.
grateful for that because we know a lot of people that have been affected by the fire, and a good friend of ours also have been affected. So I'm so happy that we didn't go through this, although we were all stressed out. We had fights. We were like all, oh my gosh, and he's away, she's away. We were like, we didn't know what to do. So, I'm just thankful to God that nothing happened to our house and our family were all safe and we're all good. And we're here right now sharing you our experiences. So what is one thing that you're hoping to receive this holiday season? Not from mom and dad.
Receive?
It doesn't have to be a material thing.
Well, I mean, I'm not hoping to receive anything this holiday season, but like just in like life in general, like I want to receive respect from people, and I want to receive honesty and love. That's basically like the main things that I want to get back from people.
That's nice. How about you, Grant?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm expecting to receive, anything except for whatever my sister just said. But I don't know. I would like to. I would like to receive some of that natural, work ethic that I don't have. That work ethic that is required at the highest tier. And that's something that I think I could work at, and that's something I think I could, receive for myself, and then
Okay.
just be able to do that, and just, be able to make better, be able to schedule things, to-do lists, be able to knock things out of the park, all these,
Yeah,
just to be able to do that.
that's good.
Yeah.
How about you, Haika?
Receive. Yeah, I don't expect anything from anybody, but loyalty and realness, because that is
So many fake
so
people.
many fake people, but
There's so many fake people.
yeah, but yeah, I just said this. Like, as you grow older, you have like a lot of friends when you're younger. But as you grow older, that circle of friends becomes smaller, and it's true. It's you know the people who's going to be there, and the people who's just there for enjoyment and fun, and for those people who's opened up and who's been there for you in your lowest times, and those are the people you treasure and
Yeah.
you care for them. Yeah, and
Remember
just
that.
realness and
Remember
loyalty.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question for everyone. What do you think is the secret of a happy family? Who wants to go first? Because I feel like I'm so blessed, and this is one thing that I'm grateful for, that I have, every night I pray, I have good family, I have good husband, I have 3 children that are, it's not perfect as well. But I'm glad and very grateful to God that I have kids that did not go into drugs, who are not crazy, who are not killers, or not, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot out there. No, I'm not kidding, but I'm so grateful that I raised, my husband and I raised 3 wonderful children. But
I think the one thing that I think is the secret to having the family is the luxury of having meals together every day. That's a luxury.
yeah,
it's a
because that's
very,
the time that
very
you can really talk. Right?
important luxury to have is, even if you don't talk that much, but you're together. It just transcends just being there amongst everyone at the table. It doesn't. It's something that I wish for my friends to be able to have on a day-to-day basis like we do.
Yeah, because
it's
we
very
know
important.
we know
Yeah.
a couple of people
That they work and they can't
work,
do it.
they can't be.
They can't do it, and their kids, are wanting to spend time with their parents, and that's the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, because that few minutes, even if it's just 30 minutes or even 20 minutes, the 20 minutes that you talk and spend time with your kids, that moment is very important. I mean, they
Yeah.
treasure that.
Yep.
So I think that for us is important.
What is the question?
No,
I know.
Family.
Yeah, just I think traveling with even
Once a year.
locally
Yeah.
or
I
wherever
think that's
you guys
important
wanna
also,
do is
yeah.
just spending time with each other, and
Because you
because
get to
that's
reconnect,
that's you get reconnected and you just talk about whatever crazy things or
Mhm.
what your goals are and your dreams are, because that's what keeps your family intact basically. And I know a lot of people who are like, oh, you're always spending time with your family. I was like, hey, yeah, they're my family. At the end of the day, they're gonna be there, and
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to the Bahamas. Damn right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with them. I'm not staying home. Why would I stay home?
No,
Yeah.
and also you just it's weird because they're like, you're always talking to your siblings and you're always hanging out with your
I
younger
understand
siblings. Like, why not? They're fun, and it's my chance to get to know them because they're gonna grow older and they don't want to be spending time with me anymore. So it's just cherishing that moment.
No.
And, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
yeah, really quick. I mean, like the center theme around here, I think, is communication. Communication is key. That's for our family, and I think any relationship, in general, you need to be able to communicate and share your thoughts and your feelings, and you need to be able to connect on a personal level. And I think that is, definitely the most important factor in having a good relationship.
Okay, how about you,
I
Brianna?
agree. Communication's great. And I think it's okay to get into fights sometimes. I mean, that may sound a little weird, but I think it's
No, that's
okay
good.
to get into fights because it's good for you to kind of let your anger out once in a
Mhm.
while, and that kind of just after that whole process of being angry with your whole family, that just after that brings you closer together because you helped each other through that,
Mhm.
and I just learn new things about everyone in my family every single day, and I think that's really good.
You have to say sorry. If it's your fault, even if you're the parent, say sorry. Thank you so much! Advice for the day. I hope, ladies, that my family and I was able to inspire you or help you with your marriage and raising kids. I hope I will continue to inspire you with my show, my advice, and my life. I hope also that I will continue to encourage you to find purpose here on earth. Trust me with all the purpose. Trust me, we all have a purpose here. Trust me on that. I thought I did not have it, but I did. So you were not born here. You don't have to be just a mom or just a wife. There's something in there that purpose in you alone. Don't say I can do anything or I can't or I'm just not born to have a purpose, because you are here. You are where you are right now because that is what or where you chose to be. But if you align, I've learned about it. This isn't the vision. When you're aligned with your faith, your purpose, or your vision, you will get where you want to be. It's like a car. When you drive a car and your car is not aligned, where does it take you? It takes you to a different direction. So be aligned with your purpose. Be aligned. Have a vision. I have that in my house, and I go to the office and I look at my vision board, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be like this. My husband's gonna be this. He's gonna have this. My kids are gonna. Think of that. Write your vision board. Align yourself with your purpose, with your vision, and of course, if you don't have faith, it's really hard. I don't care what faith you have, but have faith with something. And then my tip for today. It's Thanksgiving week. Be grateful for everything you have, not just the earthly things, but the good characters you have in you. Be grateful that you're a good person. That's why you have a good life. Be grateful that you're smart. That's why you have a good job or good position. Be grateful you're loving and patient. That is why you are still married and you have good kids. Be grateful that you're healthy because you are still alive, and be grateful that you are giving because you will get all the good karma in this world. Happy Thanksgiving to all you beautiful ladies.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Cheers, babe.
Cheers.
Oh, I finished it.
Cheers.
You're listening to Polished Woman, only on LA Talk Radio.